Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today we are going to learn about virtualization. In day-to-day life also we are using virtualization without even realizing it. How I will tell you now. So when you book a Ola cab, you are not going to buy the Ola cab really. You are just paying for what you are using. And then you don't have to worry about the maintenance and other cost behind this. So that's how we are using virtualization in cloud computing also. Virtualization is a way to use computer as if it were many. Before virtualization, most computers were only doing one job at a time, and a lot of their power was wasted. Virtualization lets you run several virtual computers on one real computer, so you can use its full power and do more tasks at once. Let us understand virtualization by taking a real world example. Suppose there is a company that requires servers for four different purposes. Okay, one to store data separately and securely, another one to host an online shopping website, third one for processing employee payroll system, and the fourth one for running social media campaign. And all these tasks require different things. Customer data server requires a lot of space. Online shopping website requires high traffic server and needs Linux operating system. The payroll system requires greater internal memory, which is RAM, and must use a certain version of operating system. In order to fulfill these requirements, the company initially configured four physical servers, each for different purpose. This implies that company needs to purchase four servers and keep them running and upgrade them individually, which is very expensive indeed. Now, by virtualization, the company can run these four applications on few physical servers. I mean, let us consider two servers. And through multiple virtual machines. Each VM act as a independent server possessing its own operating system and resources. Through this means the company can cut down on expenses, conserve resources, and manage everything from a single location. We will be covering these topics: introduction to virtualization, which we did already. How can we achieve virtualization? I'll tell you what is hypervisor, types of virtualization, its benefit, use cases. Let's see. So, as I told you, virtualization enables multiple operating system or resources to run as a single physical machine or server, creating a virtual environment isolated from the underlying physical hardware. Okay, how we can achieve this? So we can achieve virtualization through a hypervisor. What is hypervisor? Hypervisor is a software layer that runs on the physical machine. Okay, on the server and manages the virtualized resources. The hypervisor abstracts the underlying physical hardware, presenting it to the virtual resources as a virtualized hardware resources. So in a traditional architecture, how the server used to be, we had one physical server. On top of that, we used to have operating system, and then on top of operating system, we used to install our applications. But now with virtual architecture, what we are doing, we are on the physical box, we are installing a hypervisor, which enables us to create several virtual machines and abstract the resources from the physical hardware to the virtual machines. Now, the question is, what is hypervisor? Hypervisor is a software that gets the virtualization work done. Okay, it is the intermediary between physical computers and the virtual machines. There are two types. Okay, one is bare metal and another is hosted. What is bare metal? Bare metal is like on the physical computer hardware which has CPU, RAM, and storage. The hypervisor is installed on top of the physical uh, machine. And then the hypervisor enables us to create different virtual machines. Whereas in type 2 virtualization, we have the physical computer, we have the physical box. On top of the physical box, we have the operating system, so, like Windows, Mac OS, Linux, any flavor it can be, and on top of it, hosted hypervisor, which is again facilitating to create virtual machines. Okay. Example of type 1 bare metal is ESXi hypervisor, and for type 2, it can be workstation, VMware workstation, Hyper-V, etc. There are multiple types of virtualization as you can see: application virtualization, network virtualization, desktop, storage, server, and data. Let us understand the benefit of virtualization. Okay, so what are the benefits? Improved resource utilization. How? So we have one server, we have seen in this example. So initially we were using four servers for four different purposes. Okay, but now we are just using two servers and hosting virtual machines on top of it, which is acting as a individual server with isolated OS and in different flavor of OS also. So these all are acting as a independent virtual machines, independent servers, just identical as a physical servers. However, we are just not using all the four physical boxes. Instead, we are just using two physical boxes to serve the purpose. So we are just reducing the number of physical boxes that we need to purchase. It increases the flexibility. So it's very easy to install virtual machines and manage it. So how virtualization allows for a quick and easy deployment of new virtual machines or containers, providing increased flexibility and agility in responding to changing business needs. Improved scalability. Virtualization enables organization to scale their computing resource up or down on demand. So suppose we are um, having a Black Friday, okay, and we need to uplift the resources. So we can achieve it by, increasing the CPU, increasing the memory, and even hard disk. So this is how it has improved scalability. Reduced operational cost. Virtualization can reduce operating cost by streamlining IT management and reducing the need for physical infrastructure. So as I already told you that we have only virtual machines that has to be managed and a single box. If we have four virtual machine, it is serving the purpose of full physical service and just reducing the overhead to manage the four different physical hardware in the data center. Okay, it is simplifying the management. Just by managing one single hardware, we can manage all the four virtual machines. And of course, with all these comes the cost, the operational cost that we have. So we don't have to purchase different physical boxes now. Instead, we can just host one box, physical box, and on top of it, we can virtualize the box into several different virtual machines with different flavor of OS. So use cases you can see cloud computing platform, AWS and Azure, GCP, all are using virtualization concept. Enterprise IT consolidation. Software testing and development environments are using virtualization. Virtual desktops, VDIs, which are used for remote work. Suppose your company is operating on under a VPN and they don't want you to use the laptop directly. So they can give you a virtual desktop with their intranet and you can use the VDI. So this is also virtual desktop is also a use case of cloud computing and virtualization. Disaster recovery solutions. So in case of physical hardware that we used to manage earlier, so disaster recovery is really challenging because if a disaster is there on one data center and you need to move the server out of one data center, it was really difficult and challenging. However, with virtual machines, we can just on one click we can migrate the virtual machines to another location and the recovery can be achieved. Let's conclude this. So you can, as you can see, that virtualization is the backbone of modern IT. Okay, it enables cost saving, scalability, and very good for innovations. And it's continuous evolving with cloud containers and edge computing, which we can learn about in future videos. Let me know if this video resonates with you and you have understanding of virtualization concept. For more such videos, stay tuned to my channel. I will keep posting new videos on virtualization and VMware. Thank you for watching.